What up, AfterBuzzers? We are talking 24. That is 24 Legacy. This is episode 1 where we go from noon to 1 p.m. and there's going to be some people running after terrorists.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Got a little old school song.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
All right. Hey, y'all. I hope you enjoyed that song. So we are covering Legacy 24, which is actually kind of a spin-off of 24, but we'll get more into that. So my name is TK Trinidad. I will be covering the first episode for you guys, along with my co-host.
I'm MJ, and on Instagram you can find me at MJ That Media Girl.
Here we have it. So now, MJ, what do you think of the episode 1 overall?
Overall, I'm new to the whole action thing, but I really liked it. It was really interesting to me. I'm ready to see episode 2. I didn't quite finish it, but I'm ready to see what happens this season.
Yeah, so my whole thing is that I definitely want to. I had a lot of friends who watched the show 24, which is actually 9 seasons, and
wow.
When I decided to take this, yeah, it's a lot. So I've decided that I am for the people, for you guys, I am going to watch all 9 seasons of 24, so I'll be able to compare the two. So now dedication to the craft. So now we have some really familiar faces as some of the characters. So the first character is actually Eric Carter. He's the main character of it all, and he's played Eric Carter. His real name is Corey Hawkins, and he's actually been in a lot of different things. He was in The Walking Dead. He played Dr. Dre on Straight Outta Compton.
Yes,
he's
my favorite.
Yeah, he's NY, a lot of other stuff. Juilliard, went to school at Juilliard, so he is very accomplished. Then we have his wife, who's Nicole Carter, and she has done a lot of things, but a really actor that I want to talk about is Jimmy Smith, who is playing John Donovan. So he, a wealth of knowledge. Did you recognize his face?
I really didn't. I'm sorry.
You're in it. Okay. So he was in a lot of things. I believe he was in Sons of Anarchy, NYPD Blue, just a whole slew. His resume is probably like 30 years. So they really brought in a heavyweight for that. So we have a lot of different characters playing. So like I said, Eric Carter is the main character. So Nicole Carter is playing his wife, and then
which is also in Greenleaf.
Yes.
My favorite, one of my favorite shows.
Oh, there's just too many shows out there. It's just I can't even keep up. Then we have Rebecca, who is the head of CTU, or former head. Yeah, former head of CTU, who, bringing back to Jimmy Smith, she is Jimmy Smith, who plays John Donovan, is wife.
Yes.
So she was the former head of CTU. She decided to give that up because, you know, she accomplished one of her goals.
Yeah, and she's trying to be the first lady.
Yes. So now she's going to help campaign for her husband, John Donovan.
Yes.
So that kind of all sets up everything to where we begin, 24. So it is set between noon and 1 p.m. So this all happens in 1 hour, which is still kind of unbelievable to me, but you know,
right,
anything could happen. So the first hour we have kind of establishment of all the characters. So we have Eric kind of, you know, doing his thing. It sounds like he's like a mall cop of some sort, protecting some people.
Yeah, I kind of got that. I was like, how do you go from, you know, top secret stuff in the military to escorting people? I was kind of confused. I was like, maybe it's something more we're gonna learn about that. That's what I thought at the beginning, and then
well, this is kind of interesting because it also speaks to, this is getting a little political, also speaks to a lot of veterans who actually come home and they can't find jobs.
Yeah.
So they do stuff like mall cops. They do stuff like, you know, work at Target. Not like working at Target's a bad thing, but for somebody who's decorated and, you know, did something for our country, they sometimes come back and
can't get a good job.
So it kind of makes sense. I like him for the role. I just kind of feel like he should have put on a little bit more, like, he looked a little too on the skinny side for me.
Yeah, he has. I mean, but I don't know. I wasn't expecting him to be like kind of buff or
Not
anything
like super
like
buff,
that.
but just little. He just didn't. I mean, he definitely showed his skills somewhat, but it just didn't. It didn't. He didn't portray that guy. I think he needs to put on a little bit more weight. That's just my personal opinion.
I understand.
So he was hanging out. So he came home and he met with his wife, Nicole.
Yeah.
So now established, and I didn't know if it was wife or girlfriend, so I had to actually be on the lookout for the ring. So they had to establish that whole thing, and then they got in the bathroom, and his whole thing is that, you know, he saw that she was still taking the birth control pills.
And he's ready to have a baby.
And he's ready to have a baby, but the question is, why is he ready to have a baby?
I don't know. Maybe because he's been in the military and he's trying to get back normal.
Right.
And get his life back together and trying to, you know, he got a job and, you know, they relocated and they basically starting over.
Right.
So he, you know, probably want to have that child to have a normal life and feel like they're normal.
Right. But the thing is, they went undercover, so they took different names and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like, because she had mentioned that she had just got the job because he wanted her to take the day off. So it's like they just got established, or trying to get established. Like, why do you want to, enter a baby into the mix? It doesn't, you know, that's a whole, you know, another thing. So then we have all that, and then, you know, he gets a call from Ben, who was also in the Rangers, and I believe there was about 6 to 8 people that were in the Rangers. Yeah. And, you know, the first establishing scene was that
the other ones have been killed and their families been killed. Yeah. And apparently, well, you can tell that, you know, when he called him, the wife thought that, you know, he just being paranoid because he's on drugs, and they made it established that, you know, they put him in rehab and stuff like that. And this when he realized, like, no, this is real. Somebody really after us. Right.
Which is also understandable. Well, I think he probably is paranoid because he knew what he did. So that's why he was staying off the grid.
Well, I don't even really think that that's why he's been off the grid. I think he just probably had PTSD, and he started using drugs because he's all about, they owe me, they owe me.
But if he's carrying that box around the whole time, he at least had to open
but
it.
He just knew, he didn't know that thing, like a drive, something was really in there. He just thought it was money.
Right, so it had money and gold and stuff like that. So
but he had a hid in that thing when he pulled it out. So I just don't really think that's why he was off the grid. I think he just got PTSD and just paranoid. Period. Paranoid.
Okay, we could take that. So, I'm saying this totally correct. The terrorist, Ben Khalim, that's his name. Ben Khalim has started, came on USL and started kind of picking away at the Rangers. And Ben had called Eric to let him know that, you know, something's going wrong. And it's kind of funny with all the technology that we have. You know, Eric kind of puts out this kind of APB to all the people on his team because he's actually the squad leader. Yeah. So he's waiting for everybody to hit him back, and, you know, nobody does. Yeah. Which puts him on high alert, which takes him to the next scene where he peeks out the window and there they are. So I really like this scene because it speaks to, you know, a woman standing up for a man. So he puts her in the attic, says, don't do anything, you know, no matter what you hear, don't do anything. Yeah. So next scene you have, he's in the chair, and, you know, she comes up with a brilliant move of, you know, throwing something out the window to at least distract him for a bit.
She's more smart than me because I wouldn't even thought of it. I would have been super quiet. I'm not saying anything.
So you would let your husband get killed?
I mean, I'm not trained for this. Wow. I'm not. I mean, baby, somebody got to live to tell the story.
Wow. And there you have it, man. She just... You out on your own.
I would have been like trying to call 911 and real quiet. You know,
so 911 is going to help bring down the terrorists.
That's all I would have thought. I mean, I'm a civilian. I'm not prepared for this. I wasn't trained.
Okay, so hopefully after watching the show, I'll give you hopefully you're never in that situation, but hopefully after watching the show, I'll give you some ideas to
because I would never thought of it
like that.
It's not even not doing my man like that. I really would have never thought of throw the window, throw it. I would never thought of it.
I kind of have a feeling that if it was like your kids or something, like your dog, like not even your dog, that might be a little bit, but it was like your kids or something, you would do something. You wouldn't wait.
I don't know.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I was just trying to future kids out there. Oh. So what she did, she threw something out the window. She distracted them. She went down down to the main floor and put the code in for the guns. Yeah. So she managed to get the guns. She shot a couple people. He had a gun. They shot some people, and they were out.
The way that scene set up, I felt like he prepared her.
Yes.
Like he's been preparing her for that type of stuff. So maybe if that was my husband, and I would have known. Yeah, he would have knew to prepare me for that. Cause like she knew to go get the gun.
Oh yeah.
Coat, like they got this bag and probably some stuff in there.
Most people, well, I shouldn't say most people. I assume most people who are on that kind of level, they have preparations everywhere. So there's probably money somewhere. There's probably ID somewhere, just in case something were to happen to him. Yeah. So yeah, he definitely did prepare her, but I'm pretty sure that he wanted her to. His game plan was for her to stay upstairs.
Yeah, of course, of course. But like you said, he got her prepared for certain situations.
So kudos to her for getting those guns out.
Yeah.
And they escaped. So now he takes her to his brother's place.
Which apparently she used to date the brother.
That's gonna be a really interesting storyline. I love the twist. I'm not so keen at the fact that it's in the ghetto with a whole bunch of other people who have guns and stuff like that. I kind of feel like we could have went a different direction to it, but it is what it is. So he takes her to the only place that he knows is safe, which
is the hood.
But I'm kind of wondering that, does he feel like his brother is not going to do anything to her? Like, is she really safe?
I honestly think he trusts, like, of course they don't get along because he stole his girl.
Right.
But I honestly think he feels like his brother is going to protect her because deep down they did have something, and he wants her to be safe at the end of the day. Right. That's why I feel like the brother is going to end up protecting her, but I think something's going to happen between them.
Girlfriend.
I think something's going to happen.
The only thing that I think a couple things will happen. So I think the girlfriend of Isaac, who is the brother, she's obviously jealous.
Yeah.
So she's going to rat her out anytime within the 24 hours. And then so then I think there's going to be a point where she thinks that Nicole thinks that Eric is dead, and then Isaac consoles her, and that's where something might happen.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't, but
it's these shows so typical that I feel like something's gonna happen. It's gonna be like, like something sad and over the top.
I know, I'm so
and she gonna be like, he gonna be consoling her, and then of course the girlfriend almost gonna get them killed.
Yeah,
because she gonna be like, oh yeah, I know where she at, or something like that.
I think she's gonna try to get them killed first before he gets a chance to console her, because you almost need to evoke some type of emotion in her for him to console her even more. Yeah, for her to feel like she needs that comfort that her husband's not there to do at the moment. Yeah. So I hope it doesn't go too far.
It's predictable, but I really hope it doesn't happen like that, just so it can prove me wrong.
Right. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, definitely. Again, I will watch all 9 or at least one episode or one season of 24, so I can kind of do the compare and contrast of it for you guys. So now we're gonna take it back to Rebecca. So so she accepted the award from the CTU, and now she's moved on, or she's trying to move on, and she has a replacement, Keith. Yeah. So she wants to help her husband move into the White House, which is interesting too, because Jimmy is. I don't know what ethnicity he's playing in the show, but obviously he's not white. So it's white, and it
gotta be like Hispanic or Native American.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably Hispanic that he's playing. So that's gonna be a big. If he does make it, that's gonna be a big thing, because I don't think there has been any Hispanic men or Latino men who played presidents on television.
Not that I know of.
So that's gonna be a big thing if that does happen. I have a feeling that based off of everything that's transpiring now, and it only spans through 24 hours, so that it could be something bigger. But if she were to kind of get the mission done in 24 hours, then she can go back to helping him become president. So we'll see. I have a feeling that she's such a driven woman, though, and based off of everything that is happening, she doesn't want to leave any loose ends. Yeah. And if Keith is a mole, then she has to kind of take back her place. Yeah. So, I mean,
because at this point, nobody can be trusted.
Yeah, nobody could be trusted. And the fact that she tased him in the office and nobody knew about it, so backtrack. So she, Eric calls Rebecca to let Rebecca know that they are being chased. Their identity has been blown.
Yeah.
So Eric is like, we need to find Ben. I just spoke to him. We have to track him down. So Rebecca got Andy, who's the computer guy, who also actually is, because I'm currently binge watching Scandal. He's in Scandal, and he was Cyrus's boyfriend who got killed.
Yeah.
So Andy is
I don't know. He might be the mole.
I don't think so.
I don't know, because it always be the person you least expected.
Right. I give you. I don't know. Well, it's kind of funny because
I wouldn't be surprised
when I looked for all the characters on the story, like online, like all the main characters had last names. He didn't have a last name, which makes me think that he's not going to be on the show very long.
Okay.
So I don't know. I could be wrong. This is my extensive research of it. So we'll see. But so Andy kind of puts out a drone, which is still kind of scary on all this technology that we have. Again, it's my conspiracy theory. If you have Google, Gmail, if you just have a smartphone, I think you're no longer. You can no longer go.
Safe from the government.
Yeah, you're no longer off the grid. So Andy puts in a drone. He locates Ben, and now Rebecca calls Eric to let him know how to find Ben.
Yeah.
So in the months during all of that, there's another computer person who figures out that Rebecca's in the system, using the system. And the funny thing is how she said, "Oh, this is kindergarten, child's play. I can do this," which kind of pissed off Andy a little bit.
Yeah.
But imagine all these hackers. There's like always one better than the other, and I'm sure. I hope we have the best of the best in our government, but I'm sure there's somebody who's like 15 years old sitting up in their couch, being able to do all this crazy stuff.
Just too smart for their own good.
Right. So Keith kind of finds out. Now he goes up to see Rebecca to see what she's doing. She makes up this bogus lie, obviously, that nobody could believe. And then she decides to tase him.
Yeah.
This is not her house.
I know. That's why I was like, is this like a dream or something like that?
I thought she was going to shoot him. And then I realized it was a taser. And I was like, oh, I guess that's better, but nobody even raised an eyebrow.
But they were upstairs, and I don't know. It wasn't really loud.
I don't know, because I feel like, when I'm in the office, I look at everything. Like, I guess part of me is nosy, but I am very aware of, when people come and go and who's there.
Oh, I don't be paying that
So,
much
yes, you need that military husband to come in. Unless you always have to pay attention and know your surroundings, because something were to go off, you look at the door, somebody come running in, and you just on your you gone.
Girl, I be in the office with these headphones in and just.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be the first to be picked off. So you need to keep your head up. So she tases Keith, and nobody noticed. And then
they drag him to a room.
Oh yeah,
and nobody noticed.
Nobody notices, but. With that all said and done, she was able to she had enough time to tell Eric where to find Ben. Mm-hmm. So Eric finally finds Ben in this kind of, it looks like a transportation yard or a construction yard of some sort. And they look in the box. So they pull out the money, the cash, and the jewels and all this other stuff, get to the bottom of the box, and it's a hard drive. And at this hard drive, it has the names and contact information of all the sleeper cells in the U.S.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary, because that could be real. Like in real life. Like that could be our life. There could be a whole bunch of sleeper cells that we have no idea about. Which is, these shows always get my mind like overactive. It's crazy.
I don't even try to think about that. Like sometimes I'm like, I wonder, like, this off topic, but The Purge, I always be thinking like, what if that happens?
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Oh God.
It's happening right now.
No.
Yeah.
No, The Purge and what's
happening.
I don't know.
It's happening.
And then
she's like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight, and I'm gonna send you a very mean email, and I do not appreciate it. My husband's not gonna protect me. I'll just be able to call 911. My whole family's gonna be gone.
I can't even go out the country because I might not be able to come back.
I feel like that every day. But so yeah, I see what you're saying. That's why sometimes with these shows, it just kind of like I said, I'm binge watching Scandal, and now it has me like all over the place.
So true. I really think that happens for real.
Yeah. Well, fiction comes from somewhere.
But how she know? The person that wrote it, how she know all it?
How do you know? She's been in the Army. There's so many possibilities.
Talking about, okay, this a whole nother topic.
Wait, are we talking about Shonda or are we talking about somebody else?
We're talking about Shonda.
Oh, we can't talk about Shonda on this show, but she knows. She either the thing about these shows, the really good shows that are successful, even if the head writer doesn't know, they bring in people who know. So that's kind of how like all things go. That's why when you look at people who like the things that I really look at are like how people hold guns and how they move with the guns, because I know like FBI agents and stuff like that, and they like when I make fun of them in like, oh, this is how they do it on TV, it's like, no, this is how we do it in real life. There's that difference, and you kind of blend the two to make it look good on television. So if you see somebody holding the gun like sideways and stuff like that, that's just not it's not legit. So so he ends up finding that hard drive, and then they come after the terrorists. Ben Kaleem comes after them. And so he came out with a really creative move. So they got there was like a big like tube, was able to shoot the tube down, and it started rolling down the hill, which I don't know if he planned it like that. Like, I don't know.
I think he did. That's why he like shot it down, and he was just hoping it lands on something. Yeah. I would have thought it was going to roll too.
Oh, but I thought it was just going to like hang there and it's going to block them. I mean, it was really great that it rolled because it was able to give him protection.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny that he had the knapsack and he dropped it on the ground. Like, I feel like that's like rookie mistake 101. Unless he trusted his friend enough.
Yeah, he trusted him.
But he's on drugs. So can you trust anybody who's on drugs?
I mean, but at this point, all this happening, he's still trusting him.
Right.
And what was funny to me, I was like, when they start getting USB drives in the phone where you could just plug it in there?
Oh, you can do anything now.
I did not know that. I was like, he just plugged it in there.
They have now. I was checking, so I was going to the store for a 2 terabyte drive, which is probably like the size of like a little pocketbook. But if you pay an extra $400, you can get 2 terabytes on a drive stick. So it's literally, you could fit it in your pocket. So you're essentially carrying, you can, create movies, music, all this other stuff. Instead of loading that all, you can put it on your wallet now.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the price is eventually going to come down, but everything's just going to get smaller.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I mean, that's definitely possible. And I think it was, I don't know if it was a play for Samsung. I have to go back and see if it was like a Samsung phone, because that's what it looked like.
It did.
So it could, product placement and all that good stuff. But I definitely see that happening. On top of that, I think the ones that you use to plug in, you could probably switch it. And I'm sure all you tech people hit us up at AFTERBUZZ TV and let us know that this is possible to actually do that currently.
Put a USB in your cell phone.
Yeah, we can do that right now because you can write articles. I'm discovering the whole thing about Google. Like, you can write articles on there. Like, they have Google Docs. Google is great, but I know you already know too much about my life. Good thing it's boring. So so he hits the tube starts rolling. So he starts picking off all the terrorists while Ben hangs back. You don't notice Ben, which is kind of funny because I'm thinking even if you have PTSD, when you get in a situation that's familiar that kind of caused the PTSD, you go into action mode. That's what I thought would have happened. Like, Ben would have been right beside him, because what I did notice is that Eric was just by himself shooting at folks and Ben was nowhere to be seen. And obviously we know what happened, Ben was doing, but it kind of felt like, Ben should have, did backup. And Eric should have kind of figured that, but I guess he was, trying to fight for his life. So
yeah.
So he managed to kill everybody. The action scene with him and I guess the main terrorist with the knife, it wasn't. It's the first episode, so I'm gonna kind of give it an overall like kind of wash as far as, okay, you're trying to establish everything, and usually the first episode's always kind of like a little bit on a slower pace because they're trying to introduce us to all the characters. Yeah. But even like that action fighting scene, I wasn't very impressed with it.
Yeah, it wasn't like, it didn't give me that.
Yeah. It didn't give you like, you're in every move, or, oh, he's gonna die now, or
it wasn't like, oh, is he gonna? Oh.
Yeah,
like it didn't give me that.
Yeah, and it wasn't even one of those things too where he was so efficient that he was just able to put him down.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit on the sloppier
side of things.
Especially
with the knife part.
Yeah.
Usually it's like almost to the neck, like possibly he could get cut. It was not even close to his neck or anything. It wasn't even one of those.
Yeah. So it wasn't. I mean, hopefully they'll beef it up as we continue. So now Eric takes care of everything. He looks back. He gets his bag. He notices Ben's gone first. He gets his bag. His bag is empty. empty.
Flash drive is gone.
Flash drive is gone. At least he left his phone. That was nice of Ben. So he was able to call. Rebecca and let her know that Ben has disappeared again, and we have to track him down. Yes. So, what do you think is going to happen for? Well, I know you saw part of it.
I saw part of two. I didn't finish.
So, kind of, what do you think? What do you think of episode 1 overall?
I'm gonna stay tuned and see how it is. This is my first time really getting into action, but from the commercials, I thought it was good, so that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this show. Right. And I like Corey Hawkins, so I'm interested in see how this show go and see how he is as a action.
Right. Yeah, I've been seeing some reviews, and this show hasn't been getting a lot of reviews, and I think the reason being is because they're comparing it to 24. So
see, and I never seen this 24.
Well, I know of the show, and the premise is pretty much the same. It's like you have each season is 24 hours, so the clock and all that stuff is reminiscent of the original 24. So it's just kind of like if you watch any other show where this was your favorite show, and now somebody tries to do not a knockoff of it, but another version of it, and that was your favorite show, you're gonna compare it. So a lot of things that I've been reading that doesn't have a lot of reviews. Although it's just kind of like I said, it's the first episode. We'll wait and see. And
then it came on after Super Bowl.
Right. Well, it's supposed to be action. So, after you're kind of, on the drunk side. Because football to me is like war. You're hitting people, you're kind of on that.
I don't think they should have played it after Super Bowl.
That's another thing, too. Because I wonder, I have to check the exact time of it. It's just it's gonna be dependent on when they play it. Because I think they're going to probably change the time.
It comes on Mondays, though.
Mondays, what time?
I don't know.
Okay, so it comes on Mondays, probably prime time, so it's between 8 and 10 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting what the lineup is. I'm gonna have to look at what who they're going, because I'm barely home, so I just watch everything on DVR and Hulu and Netflix. So shout out to all those people. But I'm gonna have to see what they're up against, because that's gonna come into play too, as far as how many people are watching the show. Overall, like I said, I wasn't really impressed. It didn't catch me, kind of reel me in. It's very few episodes where you can actually get reeled into a show. The first one, it takes a lot of great writing and pretty much people who've done it time and time again. So I definitely have to research, the director and all that good stuff to see, where everybody's coming from. So we're gonna wait and see. The cast is really great. So I'm hoping the writing and all this other stuff, this is just a establishing piece, and we will definitely see what happens from there. So any predictions over the course of 24 hours? Where are they gonna end up?
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Ooh. She's definitely not going to sleep tonight.
I'm looking like, what is going on?
I'm just going to go online and try to find her an army man. It's like, I need somebody to teach me how to shoot a gun, where I put the money in the safe. I need all of that, because it's gotten a little late.
When it go down, I need you to be ready to show me.
Exactly. So what's your predictions?
My predictions is that, being requested $2 million, he's not going to get no money. Eric is going to find him. And I think at the end, he's going to get the drive back.
So you think it's going to take him 24 hours to get that drive back?
Yeah, because now he went underground, and they can't even track him now. And there's so many openings. This is what I think. Either he gonna get I think it's gonna take 24 hours, or right before the 24 hours. Right before. But it's a possibility. I just want to find out who the mole is, honestly.
Yeah. You know what you did? You did mention something. It's the people that you least expected. So it might not be Keith who's the mole. I
don't think it's Keith. I don't
It could be a character that we haven't been introduced to yet.
That's possible. Ain't no telling. It could be the senator.
Oh, her husband.
It could be. I don't know.
He might be selling some information in order to be president. That's possible.
Because on the preview for the first episode, I guess whoever he met, they tell him, they was like, you're not going to be the next president.
Oh.
So I don't know, something's going to happen on with that. I'm ready to see what's going on with it. I think he into something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I kind of like when I do watch drama shows, I do like when they tie it up at the end. Like, okay, here's the situation. We found the bad guys. We killed the bad guys, and there we go. I kind of like that. So it's going to be interesting. Just kind of, this is over the course of 24 hours in each episode. So we'll kind of see what happens. My predictions are that he will get the flash drive, but there's going to be something else that happens where it's like, you know, the flash drive, you need to get something else in order to kind of pair it together, or a new set of terrorists, or the new set of squads from Ben Kalim's going to come after him. Definitely something's going to be happening between his wife and Isaac, the brother.
Of course,
or the girlfriend, Aisha, is going to do something stupid. And there's definitely going to be a big fight between Rebecca and John. For sure.
Yeah.
So that's going to take over the car. Either some jealousy, or John might be having an affair with the his assistant, his aide.
You think so? I didn't get that from there.
I mean, what's a TV show without a good affair? Somebody has to be kissing somebody. So,
but I think he into something.
He's into something. Well, yeah, he's a politician.
And I don't know yet, because there's some reason they told him, you know, you're not going to be the next president.
Right. Well, it could be on many levels.
But it's the way, like, they had it set up. I just think, I don't know. I don't know.
There's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot more characters introduced. But yes, my homework for this week is to get a lot of episodes of 24 under my belt so I can compare and contrast.
It got too many seasons for me, so you just let me know that. Okay.
See, well, she's going to find her army man.
Yes.
So that's all going to be good. So we're going to come back next week, same time, and give you the recap of episode 2 and 3. We're going to watch both of them for you and kind of give you a cover up of that. So now, if you have any predictions, or you have any episodes or anything you want to tell on the show, you can go and talk to us at AFTERBUZZ TV, or you can hit me up at TK Trinidad and give me your predictions and fault me for not watching 24, because I know it's a very, very good show. So if you have updates on the 24 and want to kind of give me all that, the rundown, I would greatly appreciate it. So,
or if you're just an army man or somebody that can protect me, just follow me on Instagram and hit me up. MJ, that media girl.
DM her all the way.
Because you know it goes down in the DMs.
Oh, boy. So you're going to catch us next week for episode 2 and 3 of 24 Legacy. Like I said, my name is TK Trinidad, so you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that good stuff. Give me your predictions. Even reel me out for not watching the original 24, because I'm going to get to it. Promise. And we are out. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.